Hello, these are some of my tomatoes that have just started to ripen. I grew all these tomatoes this year, and one thing I did earlier this year was decided to try and grow tomatoes from seed taken from a shop bought tomato, and the tomato I chose was one called Santini, and the reason I chose it was it tasted so nice. I wanted to grow Santini tomatoes, but there were no seeds available commercially, or at least if there were, I couldn't find them. So I actually took some seeds from a Santini tomato and grew them on. And a couple of weeks ago I posted a video how to grow tomatoes from shop bought tomatoes start to finish. And this is a tomato that grew on the plant that was grown from the seeds of Santini. Okay, in fact I've got 3 of these tomatoes growing at the moment, I think, and all the fruit look like this. These were the earliest to ripen. It looks like a Santini, it tastes like a Santini, but is it Santini? Well, to be perfectly honest, I don't care whether it is a Santini or it isn't a Santini. I grew it for taste, and it definitely tastes like a Santini. So I proved in that video, what most people knew anyway, was that you could take seeds from a shop bought tomato and grow them on. Okay, and the way I extracted those seeds was to use a food mixer, and there is a video on the channel showing me doing that. And since posting the video, I've had lots of nice correspondences and people offering other ways of growing these tomatoes on from shop bought tomatoes, and it seems as though that there are quite simple ways of doing this, and one of those is just to slice the tomato and bury that slice of tomato. No more than that. And in a few weeks' time, you have small tomato plants. Now, I've never done it that way before, so I'm going to give it a crack. It's worth a shot, isn't it? It sounds too easy. I've got to give it a go. So I'm going to give it a go with all these tomatoes that I've grown this year. Okay, so we've got COSTOLUTO FIORENTINO, we've got Crimson Crush, we've got San Marzano, we've got Orange Berry, pretty obvious why that's called Orange Berry, we've got Santini that you've already seen, we've got Red Pear, a lovely small pear-shaped tomato, and we've got Ildi, and Ildi is a yellow tomato. As you can see, that tomato is quite ripe, even though it's yellow. That tomato is quite ripe, even though it's orange. And this is the colour you would normally expect a tomato to be. All these tomatoes are ripe. Okay, so we're going to give this a go. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take a slice from all of these tomatoes and bury it. Couldn't be easier, could it? Right, I'll just move this out of shot and then we'll make a start. Okay, we're going to go with this guy first. COSTOLUTO FIORENTINO. Okay, now I know you're going to ask me which of these guys tastes the best. It's a natural question, isn't it? Which of these guys taste the best? Well, I've got to tell you that taste is a personal thing, isn't it? Oh, look at all those seeds. Taste is a personal thing, so it doesn't matter what I think tastes best, does it? What matters is what you think tastes best. So I'd have to say that they all taste just as good as one another. They all taste nice, and in fact they do. They all taste very, very nice. I will make that point. Okay. But whether you would like them or not, you need to taste them. So just pop that there, and we'll go with Crimson Crush next. Okay, this is Crimson Crush. We'll move these seeds down here so that we don't actually get confused. Now these things are about, well, these slices that I've taken now are 1/4 of an inch thick, there or thereabouts. Okay, that's Crimson Crush. I think you can see there are a few seeds in there. Doesn't seem to be as many as there was in COSTOLUTO FIORENTINO, but there are seeds in there. So I'll pop that there. And don't worry, these will get eaten, trust me, they will get eaten. Okay. San Marzano. Let's take a slice of San Marzano. Yep, there are definitely some seeds in there. They're hard to see, but I can see them. You may not be able to see them. I'll pop that guy there. Right, we'll get on to the smaller ones now. We'll go with this orange berry. Okay. Now, I think these seeds are probably still in shot. These are the seeds that came from COSTOLUTO FIORENTINO. And you might say, well, why don't you just use those seeds? Well, yeah, we could do, but it's not actually proving what people are telling me, that you just bury a slice of tomato. If I was to use those, I wouldn't be burying a slice of tomato. So we'll leave those where they are. We won't use them. Although naturally you would choose to use them, wouldn't you? Pop those to one side. Yeah, there are seeds in there. I don't know if you can see them, but I can. That's orange berry. Let's do Santini. This is the tomato that was grown from the shop bought tomato. Yeah, I can definitely see the seeds in Santini. Okay, what are we on now? We'll go for the yellow one. Hildy. Okay. Well, these seeds are standout seeds. You can definitely see these guys. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bury these. Then we'll end this piece of video, but I won't post it. We'll move those seeds out the way. I won't post it until I've got a result. So if you watch me plant these guys, you'll see the result as well, because it will be on this video, and that result will either be this works or it doesn't work. But I will post it, because it's important, isn't it, that you see a result of an experiment and you see a result whether it works or it doesn't work. Okay, how's that? Right, there are our slices. Now what we need to do is bring some compost into the shot. I'll just move this out of the shot. Okay, so I've popped these pebbles on just to equally space these. I'm just going to wet this compost. And that's where the slice of tomatoes go in. And I'm not looking to do any more watering of this compost until these guys germinate. That's if they germinate. Okay. Because there's no point in watering anything that isn't growing. And if they aren't growing, adding water isn't going to help the situation. We need them to germinate, and there should be enough moisture here for these guys to germinate. Okay, right, let me get these tomatoes. Right, so COSTOLUTO, FIORENTINO, Crimson Crush, MARZANO, Orange Berry, Santini, Ildi, that's the yellow one, and red pear. Okay, how's that looking? I feel like giving these guys another drink. Why not? Right, what we need to do now is just cover these guys with some more compost and put a label on them so we don't forget who's who here. Okay, so we'll go with this guy first, shall we? Right. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to I'll tidy this up off camera, but this is really for my benefit so that I can remember where things are. But I don't want this to drag on too much longer, because you've got the gist of this now, haven't you? I'll sort this out off camera. I'll tidy it up a lot better than it is now. But I just want these guys marked for the time being, and then we'll do it properly off camera. Okay, Santini. That is there. Ildi is there, and red pear. Red pear. Okay. That's him done. Right. Okay. So there's not much more to say now. You've watched me do the slicing, you've watched me do the burying, and hopefully, following on from this, you're going to see some tomato seedlings growing. That's if this works. Okay, put it to one side for a couple of weeks and see what happens. I recorded the start of this video about 4 weeks ago. I had some homegrown tomatoes that I sliced and buried the slice. And if my memory serves me correctly, I think I explained in the first part of this video that I was doing that because I'd seen other people do it on YouTube, and it looked so simple that if I could make it work, then that might be a better way to propagate tomato seeds from your own tomatoes or shop bought tomatoes than putting a tomato into a blender to extract the seeds. Just leave the seeds as they are in the slice of tomato and bury it. No need to worry about the soft coating around the seed. If that will just rot away because the tomato's slice is buried and the seeds will germinate, then that's got to be the easiest way of doing this. Okay, let's check the results. Wow, what do you think? It surprised me. Has it surprised you? Blimey. This one here is COSTOLUTO FIORENTINO. From one slice of tomato, there is at least 50 seedlings growing there from one slice of tomato. How good is that? Blimey. Unbelievable. This tomato was Crimson Crush, one slice of Crimson Crush, and we're nearly into double figures with Crimson Crush. There are about 8 seedlings there that would grow on and produce a tomato plant. This guy, well, there's a tale to tell about this guy. This is San Marzano, and on the face of it, San Marzano's a dud. But there's a tale to tell. I'll come back to San Marzano in a minute. This is red pear. Remember red pear? Just a small red cherry type tomato. Not a very big slice, but look at this. We're into double figures with the number of seedlings that have germinated from red pear. This is the yellow tomato, Ildi. Blimey. There must be 2 dozen of those. There's at least 20 of those. They're all closely packed. But if I was going to plant these on, if I was going to prick these on, I would be doing it now before they got any bigger. But this is an experiment. We're moving into the autumn of the year, and these guys are going nowhere now. I think this experiment has proved that this is possible, and so if you wanted to give this a go, what I would recommend is that in the autumn and winter months, if you're buying shop tomatoes and you find a particular variety that you like, then in the spring of next year you may want to give this a go. If you get your seedlings away, then you're growing a variety that you know you like. How easy is that? So this is really an heads up for what we might do next year. Okay, I'm not too sure you can see this. Can you see that? Santini. There was actually 2 germinated, but one's fallen over. Now, as I recall, Santini didn't germinate that well earlier in the year when I tried it, but I only put 1 small slice in there. If I was intending to grow lots of Santini, I would put lots of slices in, not just 1 slice. So Santini is germinated. And what's this guy? Ah, orange berry. Remember that one? Small berry-sized tomato. When it ripens, it's an orange colour. It doesn't ripen red, it ripens orange. So I think you'll agree with me, this works. Right, let's get back to San Marzano. If you're a follower of mine and you've seen some of my recent videos, you'll know that we had 3 dogs staying with us last week. Molly is my border collie. She was with us. Molly is not one bit interested in these tomato seedlings. She just isn't. Potatoes, yeah. Carrots, yeah. Tomato seedlings, no. We also had Tess and Fern, who were 2 lurchers, and we had Dottie, who was a Patterdale Terrier. So sorting out accommodation for them and trying to give them some space so that they weren't all on top of one another, we gave them access to the conservatory. This is where this was standing. This tray was in the conservatory on the windowsill. And I came in one day, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and there was a trail of compost along the windowsill. So I knew somebody had been at these guys. So when I took a closer look, San Marzano had been eaten by a dog. And at this point, I didn't know which dog had eaten it. So in my loudest, sternest voice, I shouted, "Who's had the tomato?" and looked at all the dogs, without actually looking at one in particular, looking at them all and accusing them all. And there was only one with the guilty look in its eye. Who do you think it was? Was it one of the lurchers? Was it Tess? Big dog, it could reach up on the windowsill. Was it Fern? How about Molly? We know Molly likes her fruit and veg. Haha, you'd be wrong in every case. It was Dottie, it was the Patterdale. It had jumped up on the windowsill and ate San Marzano. So we don't know whether San Marzano did or he didn't. So I made a beeline for Dottie, who shot out of the door, and after some more shouting, I actually got her on my knee give her a stroke, told her she was naughty and she shouldn't do it again. And I think she got the message. Okay, and I hope you've got the message. Yeah, this works. If you want to give it a go, I'm suggesting you give it a go in the early spring of the year. Use a shop bought tomato that tastes nice, that you like. Grow your own tomatoes. Okay. Can you see them all? Can you see it there? I'll just move this camera around if you can. Okay, so this is Homegrown Veg signing out. Mol, are you staying out here? Are you coming indoors? What are you doing? Well, I'm going indoors. Okay.